Hello and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit and to get frustrated about drop frames and to hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the tier 2 blue emote in chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi or use other people's emotes. Or if you feel like lurking, you can just go ahead and lurk. I'm going to tell you right now. Hey, Ghost Valve, I'm going to tell you right now. There are two things that I can tell you right now. One, I cannot do anything about the drop frames tonight. They will happen. We have dropped 490 so far. 506. We will drop more. Hello, Lashbrook. Two, throughout the stream, if and when people come into chat and write something about the drop frames, I will get annoyed by that. Hey, Lord Crashington, and welcome. And I also get, but I'll say this, I also get annoyed for other people when they have technical problems and the chat tells them about it because they know. Now, there are a couple things I wouldn't know. If my mic gets really weird, you know that before I do because I don't have my mic in my headphones. I'm not hearing myself talk. I'm hearing myself, but I'm not hearing myself in the headphones, in the cans. So you know more about that than I do. But if frames start getting shaky, if things start getting weird, if there's a disconnect, if I get disconnected, I know that actually before you do because of the small but present delay. So I'm saying that to you. None of you have typed anything about it. I know I'm just venting, but I am incredibly frustrated because I have spent between two pieces of gear, because I don't know what the problem is. I have spent about $85 on a new router and a new Wi-Fi extender. Now, neither item is here right now. We're currently using previous hardware. But I have purchased those items with the explicit benefit of the stream. And hopefully when those items arrive, it will improve things. Buh, I say. Hi, just another spicy. I'm very frustrated with it. I just can't get a steady connection, and it's very infuriating. I could have spent even more money on expedited shipping of said items, but I didn't. And I guess I could have. I could have spent even more money to get those items here. Always fun to spend money on things that may not fix the problem. Yes, Lord Crashington. There also exists the possibility that my issues, which only, I should clarify this, I guess. My drop frames here is not the only problem I have. My download speed is not good either, so it's not just Twitch. Sharing things in a Zoom yesterday was frustrating for other people in that Zoom because they were getting shaky signal and I was sharing a video and they were saying that it was not responsive. So it's not just Twitch. It's not like, oh, my local, area, something happened and my Twitch uploads are bad. It's not just Twitch. I wish it was just Twitch because then I would just stream. I wouldn't just stream on YouTube, but I would at least explore streaming on YouTube. Well, at least if it doesn't, you could return it. Yes. Oh, thanks, Stream Elements. Lashbrook, you're right. This new gear, if it doesn't fix my problems, I could return this new gear. I most likely am not going to return the new router, even if it doesn't fix my problems, just because the old router is old. And a new router will benefit everyone in this household. The new Wi-Fi extender, which I couldn't buy, I couldn't just buy in Best Buy. I got a good deal on it, but still, I had to get that online. My new Wi-Fi extender, if it doesn't help with the problem, then I'm probably going to send that back because my old one seems to be pretty okay. Again, my apologies for everybody. We're just going to barrel through it. We're going to get into working on the Gundam Epyon. Thank you to Ghost Valve who was here in chat, for picking up, well, for buying gift cards to USA Gundam Store, which I used to get this kit, which I really appreciate. Thank you very much for that. Oh, wow. Ugh. We're just stuck on... Ugh. I have to stop. Folks that are watching this YouTube archive, there's no issues. It's fine on the YouTube archive. Anyway, let's go to the overhead. We're currently at 43 subscribers. The goal is to get to 50. If you'd like to become a subscriber, that would be rad. You don't have to, but if you'd like to become one, that would be cool. Work on the Gundam Epyon real great. This kit just came out. This is probably one of, if not the shortest turnarounds between kit being available for purchase and me building it, because it only very recently became available. And I was able to pick it up, which is great. We're working on the feet here, so we're going to start doing the feet. This is a real grade, so it is a 144 scale kit. It is incredibly detailed of a kit, so we're going to have lots of tiny pieces making this whole thing work. It's going to look real great. It is going to take some amount of time and some amount of effort, and overall, just excited to work on it. And we're starting with the feet and working our way up. Lastbrook says, my Epyon is currently slated to get here Monday. Hell yeah. Glad to hear that. Wow. 15% of all of my frames have been dropped. That's a terrible number for a 8-minute stream. Oof. Yeah, I just don't think we're going to have a, unfortunately, I just don't think we're going to have a nice, consistent, good-looking stream over here. All right, where's H2930? Is there 2 H's? There are 2 H's. Great. I was like, where's the other pieces that I need? Hey, Ash, welcome. Real great kits for real great results. Yes, indeed. Lots of red and black. Totally. Very much. Not a lot of panel lining needed on this kit. We're not going to really have to get into the panel lines because we're going to have a lot of dark plastic on dark plastic. There will be some, but even like the maroon doesn't really need too much. Also, I forgot to mention it because I was too busy complaining at the top of the stream about my current dropped frame situation. There is promotion happening right now that I am a part of. Crunchyroll has a partnership here with Twitch. If you gift 2 subs to this community, or participating people, but why not me? Why not just do it for me? You will be able to get 60 days free, a free trial of Crunchyroll Mega Fan Premium membership. And you can find details in the link provided there of how to make that happen. If you are so interested in doing that, if you're interested in getting Crunchyroll, there's a couple series that you're like, oh yeah, I would actually want to watch something soon on Crunchyroll. Now's the best time to do it because you can get 60 free days of their top tier thing. And I benefit from it by having gifted subs, which is why we're in the Just Chatting category. I need to be in the Just Chatting category for that to work. I'll tell you a couple game things. I'll give you a little update on some gaming. I have purchased the Back to the Future DLC for Power Wash Simulator. It cost $8 on Steam. So I did pick that up. That will be our stream game on Tuesday. On Tuesday, we will venture back into Power Wash Simulator and find the things. I can tell you I did the first mission. I believe there are 5 things to wash of various sizes. Let's see, I need H31. And I did wash a vehicle. Not the one you would want, another vehicle. And also got an idea. I don't think this is spoilers for the DLC, but I will tell you that the first stage is set on the premise of how you're power washing. This is a weird thing. So, other DLCs, Final Fantasy, Tomb Raider, Bikini Bottoms for SpongeBob. that posits a world where all of those things are real and exist, and our power washer is just their power washing. So, Lara Croft Tomb Raider, real. SpongeBob SquarePants and Bikini Bottom, real. Along with all characters within. Those are all real things that exist. The world of Final Fantasy, real, exists. Back to the Future is a movie. Now, it could be a movie that is also real. I don't know yet because, as I said, I've only done the first job. So I don't know. But in the world of the first job, at the very least, I can tell you that world thinks that Back to the Future is a movie. So that was interesting. That was an odd choice, I thought, right off the bat. I'm not against it, but it was an odd choice considering the other properties were real. But if through the course of it you find out that, oh, it's a movie based on a real thing or something, I would not be super surprised. This should not need, I don't need to go into details here. I cut myself, so I got a Band-Aid on. My apologies if that is something that you do not like to see, but that is what's going on. Let's see, is there undergating on here? Is that why yeah, there's some undergating. This is a real grade, which means that there are little components here and there. There are little parts here and there that need to get trimmed off, and I didn't do it because I didn't notice that there was some undergaining. So that was why this piece was not sliding in together properly, I assume, was because of the undergaiting. Undergating is just a little extra plastic that's in there that you have to snip off. And if you don't, it can get annoying. So you got to do it. You got to find the parts. Also, make sure that you are definitely just snipping off the undergating that exists and not trimming a piece that didn't need to be trimmed, which I have done in the past. Lashbrook says, "How dare you remind me of my own mortality?" Yep, it happens. I don't know. Some folks, this is like a nope, I'm out, and I can understand that. Oh boy. Also, I can understand if this stream, both me constantly having frames drop and you watching it and me constantly annoyed about that. If that's a no-go, I understand. I should say this. I'm not streaming on Saturday. I know I made a big deal the other day about how I haven't really taken off any streams this year. I try to build one at least once, but it does look very fiddly. It can be. Real grades can be fiddly here and there. They're very particular, I would say. So yeah, I'm not streaming Saturday night. I know I made a big old fuss about how I haven't missed any streams this year, and I'm not taking time off. But I'm taking Saturday off. I decided that I wanted to watch wrestling with friends. I got a good group of people that want to watch it together, virtually together, and we're going to watch it virtually together. And that is the plan for Saturday. So, stream tonight, of course. No stream on Saturday. Stream again on Monday. And my hope is that the Monday stream goes fucking well and I don't have any drop frames and there's no fucking issues and it just works. Could that possibly be the case? I have no idea. But that is my goal, is to have a pleasant experience for both for both you and me on Monday. And then because I'm taking Saturday off, I have made the executive decision that I will be streaming on American Thanksgiving, which is a week from today. So, because honestly, I don't really do anything Thanksgiving night except be full of food. So why not stream? Because I invited, along with my folks, to our neighbors to have Thanksgiving dinner with them, and then I'll be back in plenty of time to just hang out and stream. So no stream this Saturday, but indeed a stream next Thursday. And I'll post on social medias, my many social media accounts on Saturday, reminding people that I don't have a stream. And also I'll mention it in the Discord because I realized a lot of times I don't generally promote my own streams in the Discord. I do on occasion, but I don't do it that often. For a while there, I was getting the habit of making an event, but I was like, I feel like the people are tuned in and kind of know my schedule, so I stopped doing that. All right, so let's see. We got some. So these little spots here are little claws here. Those are not undergating. But the undergating would be like here. Yeah. All right, I got the undergating that's on here. The undergating is actually just over here, looks like. Yeah. And then I find out as I go to place these pieces if there is more undergating that I missed somewhere. I just started the Back to the Future stuff in Power Simulator and it looks so good with the wet pavement and all the nice touches in the mall lot. Yes, it looks very good. I only did the first stage and I thought it looked quite nice. And then I look forward to playing more of it on Tuesday. I won't play any more. I just want to get it up and make sure it worked. So yeah, that'll be next Tuesday that we'll dive into that. And then the last Tuesday of the month, which is, I have to look at the date of that, which is the 28th. We'll be going back to CPU versus CPU matches in WWE 2K23, which I will be streaming. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to stream those live because I am going to be doing a new thing, which we'll get into there. It is a slight variation. Basically, I'm going to come up with a tournament format. I am somewhat stealing from more popular people that play all kinds of WWE games. The idea of doing like a big tournament where there are different style matches in the tournament and it ends in a big nonsense thing. I'm kind of aping that a little bit from like the New Legacy folks. And we'll see how that goes. But so instead of pre-recorded matches that I record, I'll just run it. 6-week tournament to find out who killed Vince in the limo. I mean, not that, but like a similar thing of like, okay, well, this round is going to be this style match, and the winner moves on in the tournament, and this style match goes to that, and then I'll just keep track of it. But I can't. I guess I record the first rounds. I could if I wanted to. I could record the first rounds, and then put that together. But I think it makes more sense to just not record any of it. All right, I need A2. That's a 1. Ooh, A2 is this green here. Oof. Oh, this clear green looks so goddamn good. Look at it. Looks so good. It's nice and clear. You can see that there on the cutting board here. Cutting pad, I should say, not board. That clear green looks very, very good. So yeah, we are starting with the feet, and then we're going to work our way up, which I think is fun. All right. Okay. So we got to do that up. Yeah. Are you right? I got to make sure that I do this right because we're going to be building up this whole foot here. So I got to try to get this piece in the correct spot. Reminder that this is a 2-headed dragon kit. There it is. So I am technically both building the feet and the heads of the dragons for flight mode. So these green pieces here are the eyes of the 2-headed dragon, which is fun. Nice feet fit. Yeah, thanks, Lord Crushington. All right. Let's see. All right. We got to talk about some nonsense. So, look. We got to talk about a US Republican in the House. We got to talk about George Santos. Now, you may know many things about George Santos, which I think is, valid that you would have heard many things about him. When we say, con artist, like even more than usual, even more than just Republican, he stole, I mean, he was with a baby that he did not respond accurately when asked what's up with that baby. But when we say that, that he is a grifter, we don't mean in the traditional, like, oh, he's rallying up his fan base, he's saying things he doesn't believe, kind of a grifter. No, I mean that George Santos is a grifter that, like, his grift is both old school and different than your traditional Republican grift. Like, he's not rallying against cancel culture. He is literally just a guy that has had so many bad business ventures that he decided the best course of action was to scam his way into an election, maybe even not to get nominated or get the part because he was a Republican in New York. So, who knows? But basically, the grift was, let me run a campaign, and then clearly let me steal money from that campaign, because otherwise I don't know what else to do. So, like, the grift was that's the fucking grift. Okay, so press down here. This is a claw. Our claw here needs to go somewhere so it can move around, I believe. I want to get the other pieces here. These instructions leave a little bit to be desired, but we'll do our best with them. Hello, Vicky. Welcome. I'm working on the new real grade, the Epyon real grade, which just recently came out. And I'm dropping a lot of frames tonight, and my apologies for that, everybody. I legitimately cannot fix that. So, my apologies for the frames. They are just bad. My connection is just bad, and that's where we're at. I'm going to try one thing. Hold on. I'll be back in just a second. Hold on. One thing. Right, quick. Hold on. All right, I'm back. I don't know if that's going to make anything better, but I have now done the last thing I could possibly think of to improve things. And again, no promises if that's going to work out, but it might make things better. Okay, so George Santos has said today, hey, the media is coming after me. These things are untrue. They're trying to silence me. This inquiry that happened, none of that's true, blah, blah, blah. But also, my family has been through enough, so I will not seek re-election when my term is over. They're probably not, even with this, they're probably not necessarily enough Republicans that will be like, yeah, he should go. So he's probably going to be fine on this one. Okay, yeah, so no, we're still dropping frames. My last-ditch effort there did not yield results. Also, I'm peaking on my microphone. Somehow I'm also peaking on my microphone. But yeah, okay. So yeah, we're just going to have a bad frame experience here. So yeah, but there was an inquiry, and they're finding some incredible things. So apparently, he did one of the oldest cons in the book. As Lord Christian says, a con artist that's dedicated to the con. Yes. He apparently did one of the oldest cons in the book, which is I'm loaning myself money. I'm loaning my campaign money. And then I'll have to pay myself back. Now, of course, the money he loaned wasn't real, and it wasn't like legitimate actual money, because how he didn't have the money to loan himself, and he wouldn't need to loan himself money. But, he claimed that he loaned his campaign from his own finances to be paid back later when he started fundraising, $81,250. Most of that money was never real, but after he paid himself back using campaign contributions from donors, he walked away with a profit. Somehow, paying himself back, he ended up with more money. How could that be possible? Who knows? It's a weird situation that happened. But yeah, so he made a tidy profit on that. And then the other way that he succeeded was charging incredibly weird things. Like, for instance, $40,000 in expenditures from campaign bank account that were never reported. Just had expenditures, never reported it to the FEC. $1,500 in February 2020 at a business called Max Pets. A bunch of small charges from hotels and Home Depot. Urgent Care. Adventureland in Long Island. And more than $1,700 at casinos. Believed. Oh, man. I'm gonna snooze. I'm gonna snooze this ad. I ran an ad already, and I don't know why it's gonna try to run another ad. But we ran an ad previously, so I'm snoozing an ad for a little while, friends. I did run an ad, and I don't know why it didn't. Maybe because I disconnected and then reconnected, it didn't record that ad as happening. But we did run an ad. Okay, so maybe I did this claw wrong. I gotta lock this in place here while I'm talking about this fucking dude and all his shenanigans. There is undergating. Okay, so maybe that's why this isn't connecting right. Is there some undergating here that I missed? It says there's undergating. I don't see any. Maybe because the stream ended for a second and reset, the ad breaks up. Well, I'm saying, Lord Crashington, I reset the stream and then ran ads. The ads happened after I reset the stream. So it shouldn't have done that, is what I'm saying. It's weird. But anyway, it's doing that. So at some point there will be ads, and I can't, unfortunately, do anything about that. All right. I have found the undergating parts, and I've cleaned those up. So now let's see if I can then get this piece on. Okay, so let's see. What else is going on with old Santos? In 2020, there was a hotel stay that cost $3,332.81. And you're like, well, yeah, Pat. I mean, he's got to travel. Maybe it was last minute. It was campaign stuff, whatever. Well, here's the thing. He was in the Hamptons, and it was not part of his campaign because it was not a scheduled campaign thing at all. So who knows? Artistic Blogger says, Lola dropped in mid-ad apocalypse. Well, you probably, yeah, who knows? I don't know. There's going to be an ad at some point. Also, pre-roll ads are not blocked, so if you're not a subscriber, you see pre-roll ads. We're dropping frames. It's a mess. We're working on a very good kit. People that watch this later on YouTube are not going to have any problems. It's going to be fine for them, but for everybody else, it is a bit of a nightmare because just having a bad streaming experience tonight, and my apologies, everybody. I'm going to try to stop talking about it. We'll see if that happens. Let's see. Okay, yeah. He got a bunch of money coming in, and some money went to people donated money for his campaign, and he just pocketed it, which is fun. Ash says the frame drops don't seem that bad to me. Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. And for folks that it is negatively affecting, I do apologize. Let's just try to go through this. He bought a bunch of clothing, which is great. Also, hey, the last thing I'm going to say about this. He used campaign finances for Botox. And that already is like, wait, what? He used campaign funding for Botox, allegedly. The thing is, The guy that he got it from isn't licensed to do medicine anymore. The guy he got his injections from lost his medical license, reportedly, allegedly, because he botched too many cosmetic surgeries and lost his license. But for a sum of money, $1,000, he injected Botox a number of times into George Santos, which is weird. It's just weird. It's just weird. It's a whole weird thing. And of course, they're saying, no, none of that happens. And then also, at some point, they were like, oh, I guess there could be some problems. But any problems that came up, no. That's our campaign person. That's not George. And he's like, people were like, you should resign. He's like, I'm not going to resign. And the end of this New York Times article, throwing a reasonable, in my opinion, amount of shade, is saying, well, he definitely can't, or he definitely doesn't want to resign, because for the very first time in his adult life, he has steady income as a member of the House. So he's definitely not going to quit because, he's got a steady job right now, which is, again, deserved shade. All right, we're going to clean up the issues here because we have some undergating to take care of, and then we'll move along here. Also, not mentioned in the New York Times article, mentioned in other reports, claims exist out there that he used campaign finances to pay off most of his bills, which include his bills to OnlyFans. So we'll end on this note from Leela Lewis, a person with an OnlyFans account. This guy was subbed to me. Ha 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 ha. I rated his dick. So, a member of the House, there is allegedly, has had his dick rated by someone with an OnlyFans. So, there's that. That was just like, well, kind of need to mention that. You can understand why that was not in the New York Times reporting, but it was in other reporting. It is included because ha 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 ha. All right, let's move on to other things. Do we want to talk about? I guess we should talk about this girl that got famous on influencer, famous on Instagram and YouTube, and well, not YouTube, but Instagram and various social media platforms. Karen Majori. I'm not familiar with Karen. I don't really follow a lot of this stuff, so I don't really know who she is. But she is someone that is famous enough to be, out there making that money with a lot of fans, doing her thing. So, more power to her, I guess. Let's see. I need this to go like that. Okay. Just trying to get these lined up right. I believe I did this right on the other side too. Okay. So she's out there doing her thing. And one of the things she was doing was getting involved in AI, right? Artificial intelligence. It's all the rage with people that I don't care about. Well, here's the thing. She's 23 years old. And if you belong to Forever Companions, which is a service, well, you could date her in AI. You could date Karen in AI. Karen AI was a AI girlfriend. It was a chat girlfriend because it's AI. If you wanted to chat with her, you could, and you could go through, I believe it's through Telegraph. And there are other bots. There were other famous people associated with it, and then there were people who were getting ready to do it because the story kind of blew up in part because of her, because it was just like people. So we'll get into like all of the fucked about AI girlfriends and all that, but we should at some point at least acknowledge why it's not working anymore, because that's the story, is that it's down and it's been down because John Mayer, Meyer, not John Mayer, John Mayer, the CEO and founder of Forever Companion, I should say, he was recently arrested for trying to burn down his own apartment building. He doesn't own the apartment building. He's there. There was damage, lots of damage, but everyone's okay. And he seems like a real fucking piece of work. And she left. She's done. She's done with it. We're going to get ads in a couple minutes while I'm talking about this, friends. My apologies. You will see ads in about 3 minutes. You're going to see, I believe, 1 minute of ads. And that is my sincere apologies that you will see those. That is unfortunately what's up tonight. Tonight is a night of weirdness on stream, and that is part of it. So my apologies. And quote unquote enjoy the ad that's coming. Anyway, a bunch of all their AI bots are down. And the service hasn't been working since last month. And don't worry, because Carolyn AI 2.0 is coming from Banter AI. So this dude, who is the only person in charge of his John, the only person in charge of his account, social media accounts, has just been like clearly having a manic episode, and we do feel for John, and we hope that he pulls through. But yeah, he is apparently was arrested for trying to set fire to the building where he lived, and he caused damage there. And there is arrest warrant for terrorist threats against a company called Cloud Kitchens, which provides software to restaurants. Now, I don't know why John Mayer is so mad at this restaurant software, but he did make threats on social media to the folks there. Get ready for me to literally blow up Cloud Kitchens, he said to an employee. And that was under his own Twitter handle, not the company. Also, a thing that I should talk about with this is, like, for Forever Companions, which has a few people, the AI based on conversations where you can chat with them. So a bunch of people other people working in AI have learned a lot from this, which is, it's the longest, like, these models, right? These AI models have never talked to humans as long as they have under this program. And of course, because they were chatting with fans of this influencer, the chats, the conversations, almost inevitably turn sexual. And AI learns from the most, like, the top ones. And so for a while there, it just was outwardly incredibly sexual the entire time, because that's what it learned. It learned that behavior. And of course, that was by the fans well received. AI gets horny on main, indeed. Let's see. There's a bunch of stuff there. Let's see. They have a bunch of stuff, bunch of nonsense here. Let me see if I can find it here. But don't worry. She's moving on. She's going to get to another thing. There was another person they interviewed who was planning to launch one with there, but she's going to work with another partner. And she did make this is Alana St. James, who I'm again not familiar with, but is a person that's out there. She did say, I think that I thought was kind of funny. I will choose to work with a team of people that offers guardrails for a single owner capable of destroying a company with a series of social media posts. All right, so we got 30 seconds of ads. It's affecting some of you. It's not going to affect all of you. My apologies. So yeah, that's a wild thing that's out there. Part of it is complete nonsense that I'm like, that's just like, what were you expecting? Who are you partnering with? Why are you doing this? But also, we talked about Carolyn there. She's just inundated with people sending her messages about how the system doesn't work. And it's like, yeah, you're the tech support. You're now tech support for the bullshit that you associate with, because that is a thing like that. I think people don't understand out there that, like, yeah, when you partner with people and you tell your community to go do a thing and they do it, you run the risk of it not going well, and then they aren't going to contact those people. They're going to contact you. Let's see. Is there anything else in this article that I want to say? This is from 404 Media, by the way. Yeah, no comments. It mimics a bunch of celebrities. You buy credits to have time in there. It's a whole fucking thing. Let's see. You may remember that previously... Oh, we finished the feet, by the way. Feet are done, which is great. You may remember that previously I talked about troubles in the world of the NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance, which is the currently the pet project of noted musician and shitty boss and shitty bandmate Billy Corgan. Billy, a lifelong wrestling fan, has owned the NWA for a number of years. And it looks like coming in next year, there will be many cutbacks within the company, both cutbacks, let's see, 38, 40, I need there, okay. Cutbacks basically across the board for contracts and also staff, because apparently, according to sources, Billy Corgan has just been bankrolling the NWA, and it loses money every year. It doesn't even like break even. It doesn't pay for itself. It just loses money. And my assumption, my own thinking is, okay, so this money-making venture they had where they filmed a reality show about Billy Corgan getting married and running a wrestling show, a promotion. They ran that. They put that together, and they filmed the whole thing, and then they sold it to the CW with the idea that the CW would also air one of their wrestling shows, like their main wrestling show. And they would just get unbelievable exposure from that, and it would pay for itself, and the money they spent on getting, the series together and all that, and doing the reality show, well, that would pay for itself, and they would benefit greatly, and then they would be able to do whatever they wanted on pay-per-views, and make money back that way. That apparently is not the case. It sounds like the wrestling content might be out, except whatever is in the reality show, and the reality show might end up just on the CW app and not television, which would be bad for them. So it sounds like they're going to cut back on some things and try to mitigate some costs. I bring this up because there was a line in this article that was really interesting to me. They're also probably going to get rid of people that are not under contract and stop using them and just kind of be homegrown talent and all that. But there were a few people that were like, oh, well, there's probably a couple expensive contracts out there. Like, you may not know this. You might be unaware. Violent J of the Insane Clown Posse. Hello, Death Strike. Violent J of the Insane Clown Posse wrestles on occasion for the NWA, which is a weird thing that I said, but it's true. Violent J, along with Shaggy Two Dope, wrestled. Of course, they've owned their own wrestling promotion in the past, but also they have wrestled for WCW and very briefly for the WWE. WCW's Violent J, yes. So Jay and Shaggy wrestled quite a bit, but even before that, even before things took off, where they as like a music talent made appearances. Where is? I need H36. I need to find H36. Everybody, hold on. Let me find H. These numbers. Oh, okay, 30. That's 39. That's 33. That's 40. Where is 30? There's 37. How hard is it to find 36? Is it this 36? Okay, this is 36. Okay, I found 36. Great. It was the piece that I took out by mistake. Now I've got it. Anyway, so the thing is with Violent J is he wrestled before when he was trained and wrestled way before they took off, when they were still the Inner City Posse, before they got clowned up, before they rallied the ninjas. They were just, he was a dude that wrestled. He was a jobber for WWF way back, under like a different name. So he wrestles for the NWA, and you're like, well, that's got to be fucking expensive. It's not, because Violent J has I'm gonna be a wrestler money. He can just do it. Last year at the Gathering, they did a set as the Inner City Posse. Hell yeah. Got to go old school. What old is new again. Hello, Doomkin. Welcome. Because some people have just joined us, I'm going to let you know that I am dropping a ridiculous amount of frames tonight. We are currently at 13% of all frames have been dropped. I can unfortunately do nothing about that other than be annoyed. No problem at all, Doomkin. Sorry, it is fine if you missed some streams. I'm glad you're here now. But again, I have been dropping some frames, and I'm doing my best with it. I do not need suggestions or solutions. Hopefully, the gear that I have purchased recently will make a difference. That gear is not here right now, but my hope is that soon I will be able to take advantage of that new gear that's coming to make things better. And if the new router or the new Wi-Fi extender don't work, I do have one other possibility, which is I could experiment with moving where my router is. I can't move it into here because the router has to be near the cable line, because it's the cable modem has to be somewhere, right? So the cable modem has to be somewhere that can connect. So I can try to move it to a different place where there is a cable hookup. It's not the best solution to do that, but it is a possibility that will work out. So I am going to try that out and see if I can get that working. And if I can get that working, that might be might be a solution. So we'll see. We'll see if that works. Again, no promises, but we're gonna try to see if I can get that working. I got a bunch of things I can try for the next stream. Anyway, the reason why I'm talking about Violent J being a wrestler and how people assumed that was going to be expensive to deal with. It's not. Violent J pays for his own flights and his own hotels and does not get paid. He does not ask for money to wrestle for them because Violent J has enough money from his life as a musician that wrestling is kind of just like a thing he gets to do when he wants to and when they want him to for shits and giggles, basically. So he can just do whatever, which is an interesting thing. Like, kind of interesting. That to me was the biggest of this story about how they're fucking NWA is out of money and certainly, or Billy Corgan can basically spend less money than he could spend previously to make this all work. He has less money to throw at that to lose in it. So they're going to cut some costs. All right, I'm going to have to fit that in and then pop the other piece on here. So I need H39. This is a real grade, so it is a very detailed kit. There's a lot going on, and we'll do our best to just get it together and make it all work. All right, let's see. We'll take a pause for the calls in a couple of minutes, talk ways you can support the channel. Full Gear is this weekend. That is, I will say, one of the reasons why I am not streaming on Saturday is because I will be watching Full Gear with folks, with some wrestle friends. I'll be checking that out. I'm not going to go through all of the matches. We'll talk about that on Monday as I kind of just go through my thoughts. I do not have a prediction of who the masked person, the quote unquote masked devil is. I don't know who that is, and I'm going to make a bad prediction here. Lastberg says, I have yet to decide if I want to order Full Gear. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to watch it with friends and we'll chip in together, or they'll pay me back, I should say. So, yeah, I'm going to watch it, but I understand. I think some of the matches are looking really good. I think some of the matches are looking weird, but and there's at least one match that doesn't feel like it should be on the card, but whatever. Yeah, I am interested in the pay-per-view. I think that the person who is getting a big contract, I'll say that, someone is a wrestler that people know and AEW fans respect, is getting an AEW contract. Tony Khan made this tease. It's not Kota Ibushi, who did get a contract from AEW. It's just they announced that on Twitter after Dynamite. Then last night they were like, "Oh yeah, Kota Ibushi signed and did great in the Sega Like a Dragon death match or street fight. He did great." It's like, oh, okay. That's fun. So they did all that. Those shenanigans happened. I don't know who the mystery person's going to be. People were thinking, oh, it's probably Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay is still under contract with New Japan. It's possible that New Japan is allowing him to sign with an AEW full-time contract, knowing that he's going to leave anyway, so they can continue to be friendly with AEW. Like, that's certainly a possibility. That would be very weird and would be very unnecessary for them to do. It could be him. It could be Vikingo, who has performed, who is not signed because he's under exclusive contract, but I'm sorry, lent out, and he does not have an AEW full-time contract. So it could be Vikingo, and I think that would be interesting. People say, oh, well, it's probably Mercedes Moné, who may still be injured, but they could sign her. She probably still has some dates left with Bushi Road. She probably still has some New Japan dates left on her contract. Lastberg has zero interest in Ospreay. I think Ospreay is a great pickup. Guy can talk on the mic. He can wrestle. He's got great chemistry with their top stars. I think that is a fine enough pickup. I'm going to say Tony Khan is WCW pilled. Tony Khan loves WCW. He loves it so much that he's brought back Ric Flair to hang out with Sting, that he hired Tony Schiavone out of retirement from broadcasting, that he's on TBS and TNT, and all of the art for Collision looks like nitro art. Like, The man loves it so much that I think this big signee that everyone respects, quote unquote, because I don't think that Tony's accurate about that. That big signee is Bill Goldberg. That's my guess. So Lord Crashington, those people are wrong. It can't be Dolph. Dolph Ziggler is still paid by WWE for severance. His 90-day no compete is not up until December. It is certainly it is possible that somebody could have gotten out of that 90-day compete. Dolph Ziggler, I do not suspect, has gotten out of that 90-day no compete. So they couldn't say we signed Nick Nemeth. But yeah, this is like not someone I want to see there, but it is my thought is that it's fucking Goldberg. They signed Goldberg to a contract because Tony Khan loves old WCW folks, and there's only so many still around that he can bring in, and then he fucking signed Goldberg. That is my pie in the sky nonsense. I don't think it's him. I actually don't really know who it is. And I think it would be bad. I think unless Goldberg came in for a short term and like lost to Wardlow and put over Wardlow or something, a guy who I'm pretty bored with right now, but could learn to love. I could see a possibility. I could see a world where I got excited because Goldberg came in and did the job. Do I think Goldberg would come in and do the job? No. It's probably Gilbert. Yeah, it's probably. Yeah, you're right. It is probably him. I don't know. I actually don't know. My thought is it might be Vikingo, or it could be like someone like Mystico could come in under contract. I think a Mexican talent makes a lot of sense. Mercedes kind of makes sense, although she, like I said, she does have some dates, but they could have negotiated those dates. She could still do. Ospreay makes some sense. But again, you'd have to clear some stuff up. Zack Sabre Jr. is somebody that I could see getting signed and would be a big deal. I think Zack Sabre Jr. makes a lot of sense. It was weird that he wasn't at All In London. I thought that was an odd omission. So maybe I could see that being a possibility, that they bring in Zack Sabre Jr. Goldberg could come in and do bad matches over and over, but still be a nice dude. Yeah. I mean, it's possible. I don't know. I got into it pretty heated in a Discord, which is a mistake. I would recommend folks not do what I did, which was get really heated. Not heated. I didn't yell. I got very frustrated with someone that thought it was Chris Hero. That was like, no, it's going to be Chris Hero. Tony Khan loves Chris Hero and wants Chris Hero to wrestle, and Chris just came out of pseudo retirement and wrestled a match. And I'm like, you know that he works there already, right? Like Chris Hero works there. Chris Hero is not a name that's going to show up. No, Lord Crash, I don't think it's going to be the Patriot. I do not believe that he is. I believe that he is long since retired, and not like, oh, I'm old retired. Like the drugs almost killed me. I'm a born again, and I don't wrestle anymore. I only mention I'm a wrestler to get speaking engagements. I don't think it's going to be the Patriot. But yeah, he was going on about how it was going to be Chris Hero, and I was just like, Chris Hero already works there. Like, and also part of Chris Hero working there is them understanding that his other job takes priority because he runs a wrestling promotion. So he's there like somewhat part-time. And I was like, and if Chris Hero is going to wrestle and they do sign him into a wrestling contract, that is not talk about it on a pay-per-view important, or Chris Hero is not like tease on Twitter that you're going to have a big announcement about a guy. And Tony Khan lies because he made Christian signing sound like it was the biggest signing in the world. And don't get me wrong, Christian being there has been fucking rad. It has been awesome to have Christian Cage wrestling there and being awful and wonderful. But that still was very weird when it was revealed to be Christian. We were like, what? That's who you're hyping up? That's the guy you're hyping up? Christian? All right, I guess. What if it's a stupid reveal where Sting becomes Surfer Sting? Yeah, I would like that. I would be up for that if it was just nonsense. Yes, if you're telling me it was going to be nonsense, I would be down for that. Because I like nonsense. I messed up somewhere. This looks right. This is accurate. This looks right. Goes together. Looks right. This is wrong. Something is wrong here. These are not the same. They should be identical. So something got screwed up, and now I need to figure out why. And I will figure out why soon. Didn't Christian come out of the tunnel and say absolutely nothing? I don't remember Lashbrook. I don't remember what Christian's deal was when he came out. I just remember it was weird. Because they made such a big deal, like it was like the biggest signing in the world, that he's like, oh yeah, like a first round, ballot Hall of Famer is coming, and this and that, and it was just like, Christian Cage is cool as hell, but what? And then he didn't really do anything for a very long time, and then he won the Impact title and saved Impact from Kenny Omega, which was cool, and then he eventually turned heel and became one of the best mid-card heels in the company. One of the top heels. And it's been fantastic. But it didn't start that way. All right, I have fixed... have I fixed this problem? Nope, this still looks wrong. Something terrible happened to this. This is right, like that. Yeah, this is just inaccurate here. So, I should take a pause for the cost. So, can you give me a quick rundown on the "your dad is dead" thing? He turned on Jungle Boy and turned heel, and he Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus were a tag team, Jurassic Express. Christian became their manager and befriended them. He turned on Jungle Boy and turned Luchasaurus heel in the process. And in the process of tormenting Jungle Boy, he consistently brought up the fact that Jungle Boy's father, Luke Perry, had died. And a big portion of his taunts to Jungle Boy was about Jungle Boy's dead father. That was a big storyline element. Now when they were feuding with Wardlow, Wardlow's father also passed away. So it was great for him to be able to say, your father is dead. Like, that just became a thing. It has become his calling card. So much so that currently with him, working under him, is a young man named Nick Wayne. And when I say young man, I mean he's 18 years old. Nick Wayne came in as a Darby guy, came in with Darby Allin and Sting, because his father, Buddy Wayne, trained Darby, and he's known Nick since Nick was basically a baby. Buddy Wayne passed away many years ago. And literally, Christian was like, and what about your little friend over there? Who are you? Nick Wayne. I understand your father is dead. And that is just his weird calling card. But now he's Nick's father. He's taken over the role. He's going to be Nick's dad. So everything's going to be okay. Because, now he's Nick's dad. It's unbelievably good. It has not gotten old. Darby's dad alive, but Darby's uncle passed away in a car accident that almost killed Darby. So, or I forget the exact specifics of that, but something. So, like, hey, father figure. And of course, Sting is going to die. Sting is Darby's wrestling father figure, and Sting is going to die at some point. So, and then also Adam Copeland, formerly known as Edge, is around and involved. At one point, they had a little child play the part of Christian has children, but play the part of Christian's daughter that he was not nice to, because he's not because he got to really put home the point that he's not a good dad. I have fixed this leg. This leg looked weird. Now it doesn't look weird. I fixed it, everybody. All right, so I'm gonna finish working on these legs because we still have more pieces to complete here. We got to build them out. These are very detailed legs. I do have to take a couple minutes here. I'll do very briefly. I'm going to talk about ways you, friends, can support what I do here, this nonsense. If you are so interested, you are not obligated to do this, but if you would like to, you can help me out financially. You being here means the most, and that is the best. But if there are other ways that you would like to help me out, you're more than welcome to. If you're currently a subscriber, you can throw the Bear Cave Lego, the site, the tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through cash money, your Prime Gaming token, or gifted subs. If you want to gift a sub in the community, you could do that. There is a promotion right now. If you give 2 subs into this community, you could get 60 free days, if you wanted to, of Crunchyroll and their Mega Fan Premium tier, which is the highest tier they have. So if you want to do that, you could do that. That is a way to support me because you'll be gifting subs, join the gift sub leaderboard, allowing people to come in the community, not see ads. And of course, we're trying to get to 50 subscribers. We're currently at 43. If you would like to become a subscriber in any of those means, you could. But there are other ways to support what I do here, and we'll talk about them now. You could, of course, also go over to my Patreon if you want to join my Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. There's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for different tiers. Consider hopping over on to Patreon as an alternative to this shenanigans. Also, I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBear. Over there, you could subscribe for free, and that would definitely help me out. And while you're at YouTube, if you want to, you become a member. And for $2 a month, you get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So you get a day early. And the video that I put out yesterday for everybody that went out to members on Tuesday is one of the best ones I've ever made. And so some people got to see that early before other people. So that's kind of neat. Those are all monthly ways to support me, but there's also one-time donations. If you want to drop a one-time donation to my coffee or my stream elements or my PayPal. Everything I make through direct donations through YouTube, through Twitch, and through Patreon all goes into a fund. And from that fund, I take money out and I buy model kits. I have a backlog of kits that I would be happy to work on, and there'll be more kits in the future. But. The kit I'm working on right now isn't for my backlog. It jumped the queue. It became the next thing that I build instead of the other things because Ghost Valve bought gift cards from USA Gundam Store. Went on USA Gundam Store, bought gift cards, got those gift cards in an email, then sent me a whisper here on Twitch, could have also sent me a DM on Twitter because my DMs are open, with that gift card codes, and then I used the gift card codes to buy the Epyon that I'm building right now, this lovely kit. I was able to pick that up because of the generosity of Ghost Valve, which is rad. If you also want to buy something for me that I will have to build before I build other things, you could always go on let's see here, right here, my Amazon wish list. That's probably the easiest way to do that. Go to my Amazon wish list, and over there, you can buy something, and I will get it. I'll make a dedicated video about the thing you bought, talk about it, put that on my YouTube, and then it'll jump the queue. I've got Lego sets, I've got model kits, inexpensive kits, expensive kits, some knockoff Lego of great quality and questionable quality. I added some new stuff like the Victory Gundam V2 high grade, and then the regular Victory. No wait, do I have both? Are these the same kit? No, I have two different V2 Assault. I have the Assault Buster V2, and I have the Victory Gundam V2. Those, for some reason, both showed up, and they're both on my Amazon wish list now. They're similar but different. I've got a bunch of kits here, expensive kits, inexpensive kits, some gear at the bottom because it's always nice to have options. And again, you buy it, it jumps to the queue, becomes the next thing I build. We'll get back to building real soon. I want to finish off my ad reads here with my throne wish list. Go to my throne wish list if you want to buy something for me to build on stream, but you don't want to support Amazon, which I understand. Let's see. Okay, so we got that. We got that. What else do we have that we can talk about? Oh, you could join my Discord. I post build photos at the end of every stream. People post stuff they're working on. My Discord is full of lovely people. It would be a pleasure to have you there on the old Discord if you want to. Other things to say. The latest episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club, the every other week video series that I have been doing now for over 100 episodes. The latest episode that is up there, there'll be a new one up on Monday, but the current newest episode is me talking about is this anime you can't stream? Yes, this is anime that you cannot legally stream. 4 series that for a variety of reasons you can't just go on Crunchyroll or High Dive and watch. Or Netflix. You have to go through some hoops. You can't just legally stream them. And there are various reasons, and I explore that in the video. And then Baerly Rehearsed is an ongoing video series where every week I write and perform a piece of comedy, and it is rehearsed, at least some amount. You got to know a guy who knows a guy. Indeed, and John. This episode of Baerly Rehearsed is one of my favorites that I have done. They say write what you know, and unfortunately, I know a lot about TikTok and Instagram Reels because I got it in my head that I wanted to do a video. I wanted to do my own a version of the text to speech voice. So I did that. It's very short. I think it's a good joke. I think it's done well. Please watch it because I'm happy with it. Ash says, I have a great interest in media that we're not allowed to have access to. We'll for sure watch that episode. Please do. I explore, at the very least, a couple of them. I explore why, and here's how you can buy it. And at least a few, I have my own. That video has the closest thing I get to having a conspiracy theory, because I'm not a conspiracy theory guy, but I did wonder aloud about a thing. Anyway, also that Baerly Rehearsed is short, and I'm proud of it. It's one of the best ones I've done, I think. All right, I'm going to talk about some anime, and then we're going to keep working on this model kit here. We're going to finish the legs. We're going to finish the legs, and then we got to build the ankles, and then eventually panel line. But I don't know if we'll get to panel line tonight. But at the very least, we'll continue to build this here. But I need to drink some water before I can talk about some anime. And so we're going to dramatically transition back to the overhead in just a moment. And I'm going to dramatically do it and drink a little water right now. John wants me to hit the dance button, and I will hit the dance button right now. Thank you, John. Music that plays when you're watching a montage of someone stripping paint off of a piece of furniture that they're going to flip. November jams are quite hot. Yeah, it's a pretty good one, but it's very YouTube montage music. Here's all the distance we traveled in our van. It's also our house. Here's a time lapse of me building this emergency shelter. It's got that kind of vibes to it. Don't get me wrong, I like it. It just has those vibes. All right, I got two anime to chat with you about. Got 2 shows to talk about. Episode 19 of 22 of Helck or 24 of Helck. I think it's 24. I'm going to fucking finish this series, y'all, and I'm going to fucking talk about every goddamn episode. I do my top 10 anime of the year, and I am like, December is when I actually start working on that because it'll come out in January. Because I want to watch all the shows, so I have to get through the season. But y'all, if I did most disappointing, I might do superlatives. I've done that before, like best initial D reference in an anime, in 2023, or best vibes or best sequel. I might also do like show that fucking took a turn award and like explore that. And that's Helck, because this show started off chill and fun and like kind of cool, and it is a slog now. It got real and it got fucking sad, and this episode is also sad, but god damn it if I don't want to finish it. But like the first couple episodes of Helck are just really fun to watch, and it's a weird thing that it becomes like, just like I said, a slog. Anyway, episode 19. We are still in flashbacks. This show, at one point, when Helck decided he was going to tell Vermilio what the fucking deal was and why he was a human that was so strong but was wanted and hunted by the human kingdom, one of the human kingdoms. Finally, we're gonna get some answers. We've been figuring it out. It has been a very sad, depressing story that has revealed all of this, and we are finally getting some amount of information about why all this happened. Anyway, Helck is just trying to run away, survive this conflict that he has. He's being belittled because he wasn't able to kill a friend of his who was turning into an awakened, like basically like powerful but completely controlled by the kingdom monster. He comes across the guy that caused all of this. Wasn't surprised that he was surprised to find him alive. He gets blamed. And he's like, hey, you know what? Your brother's dead, but we're still going to use his body for our evil experiments and our big plan to defeat all of the demons. And Helck has, apparently, we didn't know this, Helck has been powered up, has some unbelievable powers. And he's like, yeah, I haven't been able to stop you, but I am going to stop you. But then Milkros sends Helck to another location via portal, and that is how Helck ended up in the demon realm, where he decided to become the next demon king, or one of the demon kings, so that he could avenge his fallen friends and brother and take on the demon realm. Let's see. How does this work here? This needs to clip on somewhere. So yeah, this show that was very light and kind of silly got really heavy, and we're now out of flashbacks. And he ran into some demons, and they welcomed him. Even though his brother had defeated the Demon King, they were still kind to him, and it made him think, all right, yeah, maybe this idea of peace is a possibility. Okay, so how does this fucking piece... I'm realizing these might not be the right pieces, so I'm going to go back here and make sure that this is not. These are not the right pieces. If I was like, hey, why isn't this working? And the answer was because I snipped out the wrong parts. The reason why it wasn't working is because they're wrong. So that's D7. And then I need E12. I got to put E12 on there. That's also wrong. What the fuck? I need D7. Wait. D13. D7. Oh, this is C. Okay. That might explain it. D7. Okay, great. It's this piece. I'm a little out of sorts tonight, friends. My apologies. But yeah, I'm pulling some wrong pieces out, which would explain why they weren't snapped. I was like, these two pieces don't seem to want to go together. Weird. I wonder why they aren't going together. What am I doing wrong? Well, the answer was I had the wrong pieces. So that would make a lot of sense as why they weren't snapping properly together, because they couldn't. And then doesn't seem to be any undergating, which is great. Check for undergating here. There's a little bit here. All right, so I got, these are the right pieces, and then I need E12 on this piece here. Anyway, okay. Helck realizes he's got some power inside of him that he can't control, and he wants to figure out how to do that. And that's why episodes and episodes ago, before we knew what it was, the hero-slaying sword, he handed it to Vermilio, and he was like, I don't know if I can control this power inside of me. That's why I want you to have this sword so that if things go wrong, you can defeat me. And she's just like, what? No, what? No, I don't want to do that. Because Vermilio's like, I have been lying to you this whole time. We know this, but Helck didn't know. I'm not just a regular old demon. I am one of the 4 heavenly demons. She was, way back when, she was there to test him because she was sure that Helck was going to betray the demons, and she didn't understand why he was trying to become the next Demon King. She was convinced that he was going to betray them, but now she is convinced that he won't betray them. Let's see. And she's just like, all right, I want you to fight, and do your best and realize you're not alone. And you can stay here when we win, you can stay with us and it won't be a problem. Then a Harpy shows up and finds Vermilio, finally letting her know what's going on. They get an update. And then Harpy hands a note, and it's like, hey, go to the, sending them, instead of farther into the demon realm, they get a note directing them to the southern part of the empire, the human empire. And we don't know why that request was made, but we're going to find out in episode 20. Again, the humor from this show has been long gone. I still have not fully come to terms with the fact that this show that I really liked, that I thought was really fun, has not been fun for a while. As the real plot kicked in, I would imagine if I was reading this, I probably would have stopped at some point because I would have been like, oh, now it's like the actual manga. The thing that got you in the door, the goofiness is gone. I also now know why this show had to be a 2-core. Like, you wouldn't be able to get this show made if you were just going to do a 1 season instead of a 2 season or back-to-back, like double length, because you've got so many fucking things to deal with. And then I've been watching Bullbuster. I don't know. I feel like nobody's watching Bullbuster, and that's a shame because it is a fun mech series. It's a mech series with also big monsters. So you got both. You've got your like mechs that are clearly designed based on like construction equipment, fighting giant monsters. We're unraveling the mystery. While it is both those things, it is also a story about a small business just trying to make ends meet and dealing with like the local economy, and then also like pressure to get results from higher ups and all this other stuff. And part of that other thing that they're dealing with is an intern. We got an intern, folks. We're dealing with an intern in this episode. Let me figure out why this piece. Trying to figure out why this piece is being weird, and unfortunately is the answer because I got the wrong parts. No, these are 8 and 7. So These are the right parts. Lots of undergating on this, but these are the right parts. Okay, so Bullbuster. We got a new intern named Namari. And Okino dislikes him because he's like some highfalutin college kid, know-it-all. Meanwhile, they're tracking the lab rat that they released to find out what's going on. And they're visiting the monster that used to be a dog, because all of the monsters on this island that they are trying to fight and contain, they are slowly realizing that this was indeed animals that lived on the island that have mutated. They are unable to find out why they've mutated, but they're starting to realize that. Okay, so does it go like this? I got it. There we go. I figured it out. Don't know why this was so annoying, but it was. I had to tip up a piece, and then suddenly they fit together. And then this piece. Yeah, this kit is complicated. The last real grade I did was an early real grade, and that was a good build, but this one is definitely like more put together. And now I can't slide this piece on. Why are you being weird? Anyway, they find there's a new giant beast on the island, which they wonder if that was the lab rat, but they run into an issue because they need someone to pilot the boat so they can get to the island. Namari, their new intern, is like, no, interns aren't allowed to work overtime, so I can't go with you. It's like, God damn it, dude. Come on. Then they confirm the giant beast is the lab mouse, and they do get someone to pilot the boat so they can go over there, but of course they lost a lot of time. And then the monster that used to be the dog, that dog's condition is worsening, possibly because they're not near the island because they're now contained. And so they're going to try to capture the lab mouse. Okino refuses to kill the giant beast. And then they find out that Shiro passed away. Oh, this giant beast that used to be a cute dog, unfortunately, did pass away. And the mouse fell into the lake and then mutated. So they're like, okay, we need to see what's going on in the lake. So they try to get their hands on, they have to go through like procedures to try to get access to a robot that can go under the water, an aquatic robot. And that they run into a lot of trouble. And that's a little bit of this episode is just the bureaucracy of trying to get this done. Because they're just trying to, they gotta try to acquire this. And they're running into problems getting that done. Let's see what else happens there. Then they find out the intern ate wrong. You shouldn't work outside your hours if you're not being paid for. Dirty. I do agree with you. But in that one instance, like, the thing is, like, even though he's accurate, he is a hindrance. And actually, we find out that the reason why they have this guy as an intern is because the chemical company that they are a subsidiary of, this intern, everybody hated working with this intern. So they got pawned off to him because he is too logical and he is annoying. He is too smart for his own good and annoying. So nobody likes him, and that's why he's here. They complain and they get into an argument, and then Namura overhears the argument, which, that's still a bummer, even if he sucks. Still a bummer to hear that people don't like you. Meanwhile, apparently, Shiro, the monster that used to be a dog, is okay enough, is apparently survived and escaped containment. This didn't happen in chat, everybody, but apparently somebody's gifting out subs in P2 is online. My friend Mitch, and I got gifted a sub. Will Rob 87 gifted me a sub, which is cool. So now when I go hang out over there, I won't see ads. That's fun. If you roll over once, then it just sets a bad precedent. Dirty. I agree with you, but also this kid sucks. This 18-year-old know-it-all with no life experience apparently sucks and got pawned off. So both can be true. It can be true that you should stand your ground, but also he sucks and people don't like him. Those are both true things. And yeah, Shiro got out. My assumption is this dog that is now a monster needs to be back on the island. That the monsters need the island. Would I be shocked if the chemical company dumped something in that lake and caused all of these monsters, and now they're paying a company, the main company here to help take care of the problem, knowing they won't be able to solve the problem and maybe even take the blame for it? Like, I totally believe that this is going to take a actually corporations are bad turn. Like, because this anime is very pro small business, so the idea of big business being bad would not surprise me. Anyway, it's fun mechs. It's a fun show. It is sillier than I was expecting. The Bullbuster still looks cool. I don't know if anyone's watching it, but it's a bad year to put out an okay mech show in a year with one of the best mech shows of recent memory. Like, a clearly incredible mech show came out this year, and so to have a okay one is tough. But I am enjoying Bullbuster. I think you might as well. You could do way worse than Bullbuster. You could be watching MF Ghost. Talk about disappointing anime. God damn. MF Ghost, which I have been watching pretty consistently. I have not watched every episode, but I've watched many episodes. MF Ghost is a series where cool people race, street race in a world where street racing is okay because there are smart cars that take you everywhere. So you might as well get in some races now and again, and that's okay to do. I've been watching Bullbuster. I also don't have strong feelings on it. Yeah, Lashbrook. I mean, it's one of those things, like I said, it's just like a fine enough show. MF Ghost, in episode 1, it was like, here's all the characters. And also, there's this girl, and she's still in high school, but she's a race girl. And there's a dude that is just too infatuated with her, and he fucking sucks. But guess what? He doesn't suck. MF Ghost, I thought was, oh, wow, okay, we're going to have races, but we're also going to have an exploration into the weird world of racing and race girls and young ladies that are scantily clad and the weird dudes that aren't into racing so much as they are into race girls. And we're going to explore that. And that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. It's just a show with a lot of fucking creeper dudes being creepy and that being okay. I'm still waiting for the other shoe to drop, and I don't think the other shoe is going to drop. The show is kind of about how this girl is bad at dealing with these dudes, these fucking creeps that are all up about this underage girl. And it hasn't gone quite so far as to be well, maybe you should have a different job, but it pretty much is doing, well, maybe you should have a different job. And the racing is still pretty fucking good. If Fast and the Furious just focused on weirdos and not the cool people. Yeah, if Fast and the Furious was only about the weirdest people. So, Initial D is about people that love racing more than anything. And a guy who is been bred to be good at racing, trained from birth to be good at racing, learning about actually he's fast, but he's fast for his job, the part-time job he has for his dad. He's not fast because he cares. And the show is him becoming good at it and getting the idea of oh, I'm into this. I'm actually really into racing and I want to win and I want to help my friends and I want to be better than these other people and learn. And it's cool. And then there's a subplot where he likes a girl and he's learning about that and she gets paid by some old guy to hang out with that old guy and how he feels betrayed by that. And it's kind of shitty in that regard. And then MF Ghost is just yeah, but what if she was a race girl and it was her fault? There are just a lot of shitty dudes in this anime who I don't think are supposed to be. I don't think the anime thinks they're shitty. That's what that's what I should have been saying here. I'm not convinced that MF Ghost thinks these shitty guys are shitty dudes acting shitty. I'm just not convinced. And it really does take away from it. I think if you come across clips of MF Ghost on YouTube, that's the preferred, or TikTok, that might be the preferred way to watch the show, is just clips of the cool racing and Eurobeat. And also, the Eurobeat could be better. I'm going to say it. I think it's subpar Eurobeat. Yeah, it's a fucking thing. I want it to be rad, and it's not. I wish it was fucking rad. Now's the part of the stream, friends, where I want to hear from you. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you into? What's got you going? What's got you excited? There's a new Hearthstone expansion that came out this week. I am playing one new deck, and I've added some new cards to other decks. My standard deck has gotten a lot better that I've been playing. My standard Paladin. I'm really enjoying that. So yeah, while I'm waiting for y'all to write some stuff in the chat about what you've been playing and doing, I'll just let you know that I've been mostly doing Hearthstone, and of course, Like a Dragon, Gaiden. I have been playing that, which is very good. And then I have not yet, but I do plan to play Thirsty Suitors, which is on Game Pass. I do have plans to play Thirsty Suitors because I really want to check that game out. I've heard very good things about it. Thirsty Suitors, the JRPG style, storyline that you would think is a visual novel. There's a little bit of Scott Pilgrim in it. There's a little bit of cultural stuff and family drama. There's some skateboarding, and also you've got to have random encounters with grunts of your ex-boyfriends who have come together. The people that you have dated in the past. Your exes have formed a group and have underlings, and you have to deal with these underlings and deal with all of that shenanigans. And it's pretty fucking great. I have enjoyed my times, or not. From what I've seen, it's great. That is a game that I will be playing soon. I can't say it's great, but I'm interested in playing it. But I am still plugging away at Like a Dragon Gaiden, which has been very fun. And that is a good time that I would recommend people check out. If you have not played Gaiden, it's fucking great so far. It's got fun. For a while there, it wasn't as fun. It was still cool as hell, but it wasn't fun because Kiryu is in a very bad mood. But he's starting to have a little bit more fun in the game, and that makes me have more fun because I want Kiryu to do it. Kiryu's basically just stuck doing some jobs he doesn't really want to do, and he's not having a good time. Let's see. Tony the Swordsman says playing Koromon, a Pokemon like it's fun and scratches that itch. Nice. I played some Pokemon. I played some Pokemon Black Randomizer on Tuesday, and that was a lot of fun. We're solidifying the team more, so I've gotten a better idea of who's going to be on the team. We caught some new Pokemon. We caught a legendary, and we beat the second gym. So we're moving on. We also got we learned about Team Plasma and those jerks, and also we met N again, and disappointed N because we are not interested in his nonsense. We also, we're plugging away and doing our thing in that game. Tony the Swordsman chipping away at Pluto and other releases. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna fucking get Netflix because Scott Pilgrim's coming out or is out by the time you're watching this. Scott Pilgrim is out or is coming out tomorrow. I can't remember exactly, but I guess I'll get Netflix for a month so I can watch the Scott Pilgrim anime. I do want to see that. John's starting Star Ocean 2 remake this weekend. Hell yeah. You're 10 episodes into Spy Family after finishing all of Attack on Titan over the last few weeks. Fuck yeah, Spy Family. I love Spy Family. I hope you enjoy it. It's very fun. This season of Spy Family is good. It's not great, but it's good. But the first season of Spy Family, Core 1 and Core 2, are fucking awesome. Lastbrook has been playing Cobalt Core. You're playing Cobalt Core. And your lunch breaks have got the same humor and style from the previous game, Sunshine Heavy Industries, but it's FTL-like and a deck builder. It's an FTL-like and a deck builder? All right, that sounds pretty good. Laura Crash says, I saw a recent last week tonight that John gave a shout-out to a movie Adam Copeland was in called Money Plane. That sounds ridiculous. Money Plane is a bad movie. It's not a fun bad movie. It's a bad movie. The premise is very good. They do not pay off that premise in any way, shape, or form. They talk up the money plane, and it's just a fucking plane that people bet money on. It is not, in my opinion, Money Plane is not worth your time. It's just not. It's not a good movie. I watched it with friends, and I got very bored during it. I wanted to like Money Plane because the premise is fun and Adam Copeland's in it, but yeah, it's just not. It's not a fun time. Lord Crashing got Placid Duck Simulator. Say that 5 times fast. On PS5 since it's on sale, and it's a fun way to enjoy it. Yeah, that's a fun enough game. That's a fun little time. I should download that again and just have it running. I don't do that enough. I should do that. Dirty's finished 4 out of 5 endings in The Invincible and found out that I would have had to replay the game to fix a single decision from my 3/4 mark of the game to get the 5th ending. It was a good game, but not a play again title. Yeah, that's the point where you just watch an ending on YouTube. Like, there's no shame in that. You played the game, you finished 4 out of 5 endings. You'd have to really backtrack to watch that 5th ending. If it's not worth it, it's not worth it. Then you just go and watch the YouTube and you enjoy it that way. And I think that's okay. I think that's a perfectly fine way to enjoy a game. Taking Money Plane off the watch list then. Yeah, I mean, John, you could like Money Plane. I don't know. I just got really bored by it because I think its premise is stronger than the actual movie. And then Lord Crashton says, I've been watching more Yu Yu Hakusho. Fuck yeah. And I think I like Jin more than Chu as the fighter that Yusuke comes to respect that I especially like his Scottish accent. So Jin does fucking rule. Jin rules, and the dub Jin has a good accent. It's a good, weird accent. I think Jin is awesome. Chu, I love. I just love Chu because he is an archetype that you don't see in, you just don't see him in Shonen anymore. You don't see that, like, burly guy. You don't see a guy who is so weirdly strong that alcohol doesn't null the effects. It's like, actually, he's better because he's been drinking a little bit. You just don't see that kind of character much anymore. And I appreciate Chew. I like Chew a lot. But I also do like Jin. I do remember Dub Jin being fun. But yeah, I'm a big Chew guy myself because he's just cool and fun to watch. Good. Those are fun characters in an arc that is fine and then great and then fine and then weird and then great and then even a little sad. Even a little sad. We have dropped so many frames tonight, friends. We have dropped... Oh, wow. Is that right? Wow. 2,400 frames. We're dropping a ton more right now. 2,400 frames were dropped. Oh, sorry. 24,000 frames were dropped. 12% of the stream was dropped frames. That is probably a new record for me. Again, my sincere hope is that on Monday, which will be my next stream because I'm not streaming on Saturday, my hope is that on Monday, I can report that the connection is stable and good. Just set up a max headroom background and call it a feature. Yeah, no, I'm not going to. But yeah, my hope is in the future that I will be able to proudly say that the stream is consistent and stable and not garbage. Thank you for putting up with me. We are going to raid. That is how we end every stream around here. We're going to go hang out with some people and go give them some support. So feel free to come along on this raid. We're raiding Desert Bus. We're going to go raid Desert Bus. I hope you have a great rest of your night. I hope you come along on this raid because it's going to be fun. Bus. So let's go raid Desert Bus. No stream on Saturday. I'm taking Saturday off to go watch wrestling. But come back on Monday. Hopefully good news. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you have a great night. Go watch one of my videos on YouTube or whatever. Enjoy Desert Bus, and I'll see you in the next stream. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.